How's it going, guys? It's Gregor. Welcome to a new series of production updates that I plan on doing every 3 months, quarterly reports. For this video in particular, it's Q3, July, August, September. It's the beginning of July, and it's obviously July 4th here in the good old US of A. I got a little celebratory wallpaper going on in lieu of that. I hope you're all doing well. What the hell is going on? That's the point of these videos. I'm going to make an effort to get into the habit of doing them, because I always end up slipping out of doing these sorts of production update videos on a weekly basis or even a monthly basis. So now this is the absolute latest. Right? Over a 3-month period, I really have no excuse not to do them. So I'm going to hold myself at the very least to this, right? If I fall out of habit on Twitter every once in a while, which is bound to happen, this will be your little eyeglass into what I'm working on, long-term stuff, right? I think it's a good idea to do so because, you know, it's good to keep your audience in the loop. In my opinion, it's good to keep them incorporated, keep them in the fold. Speaking of which, follow my ass on Twitter. Damn it! Here it is. Here's the tag at Gregor Wargaming. Ya dicks, ya fix. The more of you who do it, the bigger incentive I have to actually keep it updated, and that's good for you. Anyway, that's enough flapping my trap. Let's talk about what's happening within these months in terms of content and topics. So, World of Warships is the main thing on the channel, right? That's obvious, but there are a number of other games that exist too. Before you ask, Gregor, aren't you doing anything with the USS Arizona? Spoiler alert, no. Sorry. I'll explain why later. I need to level with you guys, alright, and establish that it's in my best interest to cover other games that are popular, because that is satisfactory not only for members of the audience, you guys, that will likely be playing these games and want coverage of those games, but it also nets other people to come to this channel and help it grow, help it expand. In terms of AAA, your big $60 release games like Call of Duty and Battlefield, right? The ones that are going to have a lot of attention, the most amount of attention. Not a lot is happening that I think any of you would be very interested in this period of time. That's all happening in Q4, which I'll get around to when I get around to. But spoiler alert, as far as the whole COD versus Battlefield fucking travesty, I'm not getting Battlefield 1, okay? If it has a public beta, I'll cover that beta, and boy, oh boy, I'm going to have a lot of fun with that because I'm going to be doing nothing but shit-talking it, okay? This should not come as a surprise to any of you if you've been watching any of my content for the past month or so. Personally, just not inclined to spend money on it. It looks like shit, okay? And I'm very likely going to be picking up the new Call of Duty coming out, and I'm going to be doing coverage of that. People are going to bitch at me about that. I don't care. Putting that aside. What else do I got on my cliff notes here? Oh, Dreadnought. That's the big one. That's the game that I should be talking about the most, alongside World of Warships, honestly, because Dreadnought, I want to make Dreadnought a big part of this channel for the time being, is alongside World of Warships. At least I hope I can. It's a game that is gaining a good deal of traction from what I can gather, and the developers really do seem like they genuinely care about the direction that it's going on. They don't want this game to be another early access joke. They don't want to pile it onto the rest of them, right? Not a bad idea to cover this in the initial stages of its popularity. That's the best time to do it, right? We're getting a great influx of information about Dreadnought's development, too. On July 13th, as you can see here, I'm going to leave a link to this production update in the description. We're getting a great influx of information about this game as a part of a live stream that I will certainly watch, and I will certainly make a vlog giving you my thoughts on that. Among Dreadnought and other videos that I'd like to do about Dreadnought, like reviews of ships, whatever the hell comes to mind, whatever's popular anyway, we've obviously got World of Warships. And World of Warships is a staple on this channel, right? I've built up an awesome audience here. Most of you subscribe to this channel because of my World of Warships content. And World of Warships is by no means a bad game. I actually have a lot of fun playing it. I have a hell of a lot more fun playing this game than I do World of Tanks, I'll tell you that. So I'm going to certainly stick by it for the foreseeable future in some fashion. I'm not really worried about trying to net an audience from World of Tanks, because I think warships and tanks, those are two completely separate kinds of audiences, and I don't think that someone who was really, really into World of Tanks is necessarily going to be really, really into World of Warships and is going to want, a combination of the two. They're gonna want one or the other. So I'm gonna stick with warships. The biggest thing on the horizon for warships, so to say, is the arrival of German battleships. And German battleships are a topic that is a buzz right now. The German battleships video I put together some time ago is still getting a good deal of hits, which is really, really cool to see. And I'd be an idiot to not do anything on them when they're officially released. To test the waters, per se, though, with how I'm going to cover them. In the meantime, I'm drafting a couple more unique sorts of formats for warships content. So that's going to mean test driving things like ship reviews, and that's kind of all I can really think of right now. But that's the main one. There are others that I might come across, and I might think about doing. I'm not too sure about map guides. I think ship reviews is the most viable option right now. The Scharnhorst looks like it's going to come to the game as a premium. I'm going to tell you right now, the reason why I'm not going to be doing much with the USS Arizona is because I'm waiting on the Scharnhorst to come into the game, and I'm going to cover that as soon as I possibly can. Now, there's plenty of other things you can talk about with warships content, too. A lot of people have talked to me about doing videos in terms of my speculation series, which is very popular. I've heard buzz about British cruisers, maybe doing a video on British cruisers that are coming to the game. And I can't confirm whether or not that's relevant buzz, like they're actually going to be coming after the German battleships, or it's just bullshit. But it would not be a bad idea to do a British cruisers video regardless. German destroyers are another big one. I've also had people suggest to me to do videos regarding secondary American and Japanese cruiser lines. As far as Japanese light cruisers, for instance, there's plenty like the Sendai class, which you could have as like a tier 5 alternative to the Furutaka, right? There's plenty out there. Not too sure about American heavy cruisers at lower tiers, for instance, but I'm sure they're out there. And that's just a basic idea. But this is what I can tell you for Q3 in a nutshell. Gonna wrap this up pretty quickly here. So let's see the meat and potatoes. German battleships, which will have coverage in a wide variety of ways. Speculation content in the form of other lines of already existing ships, for instance. Dreadnought, lots of coverage of that game. We'll get there when we get there. Vlogs about that. Beta coverage. Why is this? Okay, the format's really weird. Beta coverage and reviews of current stuff coming out. I did a video on Doom a while ago, for instance. And anything that comes out in open beta is open to scrutiny for me to talk about here on the program. Trying to do more freeform vlogs, live streams, fun stuff, shenanigans, things like that, right? And I honestly don't have any other excuse in the lack of live streams department other than it's a fucking hassle. And it's a hassle that can be easily rectified, and I promise you that I am going to solve those issues that are causing me to fall out of the habit of doing it for the time being. It's a combination of a lot of things, but the reason is a little bit irrelevant, so I'm not going to go into much detail about it. I hope you don't mind too much, but I suppose we're good. You're still subscribed, right? That's all I really have to say in this vlog, though. Like I said, I'm hoping to do these on a scheduled basis, Q3, Q4, etc. College starts for me in late August and will somewhat affect production plans, but I promise to put together content here to the best of my ability until then. So I hope you found the vlog helpful. I didn't have to make it, you dicks. Just kidding, I love you guys. Follow me on Twitter, at Gregor Wargaming. Like I said, the more people who go there and follow me on Twitter, the more reason I have to keep it updated. And that's all I really have to say about that. The video is over. So, yeah, bye!